Hello everyone, today I'm going to be having a look at this Goblin GR100 robot vacuum cleaner. Now this Goblin is at the lower end of the market, costing around £90 from Asda stores and Asda.com, and it's fairly well reviewed by the people that have bought it. It gets an average of 4.3 out of 5 from the people who have actually bought this machine. So without any further ado, let's get it opened, charge it up, and we'll give it a first run. Okay, let's have a look at it. I've had this quite a while. It's the first opportunity I've had to open it. So here we go. Out of the box we have an instruction guide and a little Goblin branded remote control. Quite a neat little device, and even 2 AAA batteries supplied. This is the charger. Obviously we need to charge this machine before first use. And nice to see a spare filter. Now for £90 you wouldn't expect to have a charging dock where the machine will automatically return to it when it's finished cleaning, or if it needs to recharge itself. But yes, you do get a charging dock with this Goblin. It's very smart too. Nice white finish and some non-slip feet here, which is ideal if you're going to place this on a floor. You don't want it sliding around when the robot's trying to dock. You can of course have it on a carpet as well, but if you've got it on a hard floor then it shouldn't slide about. I'll just put the cleaner to one side because underneath the cleaner we've got 2 spinning side brushes that will need fitting to the machine. And here is the cleaner itself. And first impressions, this looks and feels far more expensive than £95. It's got a very unusual and very nice finish. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's got what I can only describe as a sort of wood grain effect on part of the machine, just here and around the front bumper. It is very, very smart. And on the underside I can see now, although we do get 2 side spinning brushes, one is a spare because this only has provision to put 1 side spinning brush, which I might as well pop that on now. It'll just be a case of pushing it down, making sure it's located. Hang on. Checking. Oh no, it should go on anyway. I'll just pop the machine down, it's easier. So on the underside of the cleaner we've got the central spinning rotating brush, which is a combination of very, very soft brushes, which will be good on hard floors, but I'm not so sure how effective those would be on a carpet. But apart from the brushes we also have these rubber or plastic blades. So that's the central roller, and the suction will come out of there as well. We've got 2 independently sprung wheels with a nice tread on them, and of course at the front here we've got a rotating swivel wheel, the spinning side brush, and just here you can see the contacts where the Goblin robot makes contact with the dock for charging. There's a little bit of packaging we need to remove before use. Just carefully take that off. It's obviously protecting the front bumper sensor in transit. So that comes off there. So that's the sensor at the front, and there's obviously an array of sensors all around at the front of the robotic vacuum cleaner, and possibly some at the back as well. This is, if it performs well, this is a bargain for £90. I mean, certainly first impressions, the build quality, you know, seems very, very good. You can get access to the brush roll in the middle. From the top, there's a button here. Press for brush roll, and then this part comes out. On the underside of this part, there is a little comb that's I think it's supposed to help keep the brushes clean, but now we have easier access to the brushes, and of course it just lifts out very easily. I'm not sure about spares availability. If you need a spare brush roll, I think you'd have to contact Asda, but I've seen this model on Amazon. I'm not sure in Amazon UK, but certainly Amazon US. I've seen more or less the same model under different brand names. I think Midea is a brand. This could be made by Midea. I would have thought it would be. So there's the spinning brush. It just, as you saw, lifts out very easily, so it's easy to clean, because I think that will get trapped with dog hair and things. Long human hair will probably wrap around that roller, despite the fact it's got these teeth to help keep it clean. But it's nice that there's very easy access. On the back here, we've got the dust cup release. Obviously we take that out to the bin to empty, and we've got a little button here that says empty. Just press that down and empty out the dirt. At the top of the bin you'll find the washable HEPA filter. Goblin state you should brush this every time you empty the bin, but you can wash it every 3 to 6 months depending on usage. To gain full access to the filter, you can open the top of the container, and then the filter pulls out like this, and that can be rinsed under running water. Leave it to dry for 24 hours before placing it back. But of course you do get a spare filter with this machine, so while this filter is drying you can pop in your spare filter. So just relocate the filter at the bottom there first. It's a bit tricky. There we go, it's in. We've got to make sure it's flush at the bottom, and then you can press it forward until it fits neatly and securely into position. Then you can just close up the container once you've emptied it, and then you can fit the dirt bin back into the cleaner like so. Before I can demonstrate this Goblin robotic vacuum cleaner, I need to make sure it's fully charged first. So we need to set up the charging dock. So we need to take the adapter, unravel the cord, and find a suitable location. It should be against a wall normally, so it won't move about, and you should have around 1.5 meters of space all around the dock so the robot can find it. I've got a place where I'm going to try it in my living room. It doesn't have quite so much space around it, but I think there will be enough space for the robot to find its way home when it's finished the job. So you'll see on this side of the dock we've got a port to plug the mains cable in. Okay, let's position the dock. Okay, well I found a position for the dock and I've plugged it in, so I now need to locate the Goblin robot securely on the dock until it makes contact. You can hear a bleep and the start button here is flashing. While I'm waiting for the Goblin to fully charge, I may as well set up the remote control. The first thing I need to do is insert the batteries. So just open up the compartment at the back, obviously observe the polarity. As I said earlier, this takes 2 AAA sized batteries. Once the batteries are in place, we can pop the cover back on. When you first insert the batteries, the clock display will be showing 12 o'clock, so you need to change it to the current time. So first of all, press the little clock button at the bottom, and then the hours will start flashing, and then you press the arrows up and down button to select the current time of day. So the time of making this video, it's 10. Now we want to do the minutes, so you press this arrow button here, and then you need to select the minutes, so it's about 10:15. And then when you finish that, press the clock button again. The robot will bleep and the timer is set. Okay, so the Goblin robotic vacuum cleaner has finished its first auto clean cycle. I haven't vacuumed for several days in this small living room, so it'll be interesting to see how much dirt this Goblin has managed to gobble up. Okay, let's release the dust cup. Wow. Wow. I was not expecting that. That looks like quite a lot of dirt. Look at that, folks. I'm pretty impressed so far with this Goblin. It goes to prove you don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds to get a decent robotic cleaner. Obviously, this is just its first go. But this is a... look at all that. I would not have known that all this was on the carpet. That is a load of dirt, pet hair, threads and fibres, little bits of gritty dirt. It's collected everything. And looking at the filter, that's relatively clean. And just give that a little brush, but it certainly doesn't need a proper clean yet. I will after several goes of this machine. It might need cleaning a bit more thoroughly, but that's ready now for the next time I run the Goblin. I'm very impressed. Let's have a look at the brush and see if it's got a lot of pet hair and debris gathered around it. Well, as you can see, there are a few little bits on the brush, but not too bad. And if we take a look from the other side, we can lift the brush roll out easily. Obviously, after a great deal more use than this Goblin's had, the brush will require cleaning, especially if you've got long-haired pets or long-haired adults living in your house. But the fact it just lifts out so easily, no tools, you just remove the translucent top and lift out the brush. You can also lift out the brush roll guard here, give that a bit of a wipe. I find the surface wipes you can buy in supermarkets, they're very good. You can just use one of those antibacterial wipes just to give the underside a wipe down, maybe once a fortnight or so depending on use. But all in all, for its maiden voyage, I'm very, very impressed with this Goblin. But for £90 especially, well, what more can you ask for? I'm in the kitchen now to test how well the Goblin robotic vacuum cleaner cleans a hard floor. I'm also going to test the coverage of the vacuum by spreading out some of these red lentils evenly across the floor. I'm going to weigh out a specific amount, so after the demonstration I can empty the bin and see if it's got all the lentils. So let's get some of these lentils weighed out. I think 100 grams of lentils will be a decent amount. 90, 95, almost there, 100. Okay, I'm just going to sprinkle the lentils all over the floor as evenly as I can get. Well, there you go, that's 100 grams of red lentils spread evenly over the kitchen floor. It's a bit hard to see them on this particular coloured floor, but at the end of the video I'll be taking the bin out of the Goblin robotic vacuum cleaner and weighing the contents, so we'll see how much of this 100 grams of lentils the Goblin has managed to remove. I'm going to activate the Goblin robotic vacuum cleaner using the remote control, and I'm going to choose the automatic setting. I'm also going to use the lower suction setting of the two because I think on a hard floor you don't need quite as much suction power as you may need on a carpet. Okay, here goes. Well, all in all, I'm pretty impressed. There are a few stray lentils around. It's missed those there. And the spinning side brush does tend to flick some of the lentils out of the way to inaccessible places. There's no way it would get them in there, in that gap. There's some just down there. And there's no way it could have cleaned under that planter there because obviously the robot couldn't reach. So I'll forgive it that. But all in all, it's done a very good job. Certainly the main area of the kitchen has been cleaned very well. Okay, well, let's empty out the lentils and see how many the robot has managed to pick up. Okay, let's remove the dirt container. And there inside all the lentils it's picked up. There's a few stray ones left in the machine there. Okay, let's switch on the scales, on, and then zero them. And we'll tip out all the lentils. Might be easier if I do it from the top actually than, oh, I'm losing some, hang on. Hopefully I won't spill them out. A few are falling out, but anyway, we'll get the majority. There was 100 grams, wasn't there? Well, it says 95, so it's fairly accurate, these scales. Well, it says 95, so we've lost around 5 grams of lentils, which isn't a lot, but I think considering the price of this Goblin, it's done a very good job. I made sure the floor was very clean before I started this demonstration. It was thoroughly cleaned with a mains powered cylinder vacuum, but the Goblin has still managed to find some dog hair which has clinged to the filter here, and there's also dust and bits of fluff. So it's been obviously where my cylinder vacuum cleaner didn't go. So it's actually picked up extra dirt apart from the lentils I put down onto the floor. Well, that's about the end of my video on this Goblin robotic vacuum cleaner. For £90, I think it's very good value. It performs pretty well for such a budget priced machine. Apart from the automatic setting that I've demonstrated, there are 2 further settings you can select using the remote. There's the spot clean setting for picking up dirt in a smaller area, and there's also the edge clean setting where the robot will go around the edge of the room. I like the way everything comes out for easy cleaning, the way you can access the brush. It's pretty easy to empty, and of course having the bonus spare filter and side spinning brush is a welcome addition. And of course the robot does return to the charging base after it's finished its job. If you have any comments or questions about this Goblin robotic vacuum cleaner, please comment below. Don't forget to thumb up and subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon for the next video. Bye for now.